the Most High, Ela, Ya, Yod, He, Vahu, Elohim, Netta, Raf, Netta, God in your modern day name, Tata, Abib, Kodowish, 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 Yod, He, Vahu, He, Seba, Yod, Kodowish, 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 Elohim, Seba, Yod, greeting once again to you in the name of the Lord Thoth, Melchizedek, Yehovah, Adonai, Abib, Kodowish, 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 Adonai, Seba, Yod, Kodowish, 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 Abib, Seba, Yod, children of Adam, neophyte DAG once again, bringing you the continuation of Black MOAB. President Woodrow Wilson busy passing all kind of robbery plan to come rob and still robbing the children of Adam with his black Moabite friend, Edward Mandell. Edward Mandell. Yes, and their black sponsor. Yes, the black merchant, Rothschild. Bunkers, children of Adam, I've been telling you, you've been robbed, but the robbery turn up, 1913, but the robbery got turned up when Woodrow Wilson took office. Yes, it turn up. Nahum 3 verse 1, that's telling you where is committing the robbery from, the robbery location. Whoa! And to that robbery city, it is full of lies, pure liars, lots of liars up there, running up and down with all kind of robbery plan. Yes, the plan done. 2024 mark the beginning of the end of the robbery city. Woe to that bloody robbery city of Tyre, Washington, D.C., where I told you your United States is located where? United States located in Washington, D.C. That's where the robbers, reside. That's where the robbers moved your address to. No matter where you're living, or residing, or sojourning in the United States of America, the robbers that created the United States Corporation move you to Washington, D.C. Your zip code put you squarely and firmly living as a resident in D.C. Move out of D.C. now. Put the four-corner rule around your zip code. Put the boxes around your zip code and move yourself out of Washington, D.C. That's how you get out of D.C. Because the prey, Russia, China, coming to D.C. Prey coming. Pray come, and the pray not departing until the abolish in D.C. brought down. Can't measure no more water level that the Admiralty law should be using to rob Adam. Isaiah 42:22, robbing. But this is Black Adam robbed. That's Adam telling you you've been robbed since Woodrow Wilson step up the plan. Children of Adam, you've been robbed and spoiled. Yes, put in all kind of financial hold, all kind of white Jesus hold, all kind of political stranglehold, all kind of social hold. You can't get no house, you can't get no land, you can't get anything. Children, all kind of holes of food, bad food, all kind of GMO food, all kind of meat, flesh, starch, sugar, dairy, putting in your body from these robbers. Only way you can continue to be robbed if you have a weakened body and breaking law of health. That's how these robbers continue to rob you, hiding you up in prison. Yes, keeping you in holes of economics, robbing you, putting you in prison. Yes, that's part of the robbery as well. None of you should be in prison. Did you hear me? None of you should be in prison. You have already paid for the crime. The minute you get arrested and they have you put your fingerprint and sign all kind of documents. Money been paid for those charged already. All they're doing, because you don't know, holding the man, holding the physical body as surety while they scam and rob your trust. Yes, they've been paid already, but they're still holding the body. Prison, because prison give them continued revenue of you, pulling straight out of your trust. Pray, they held your was. Pray, they held your was. And none delivered unto you. None say, let's stop spoiling this man. Stop ruining this man. None say, let's restore Black Adam. But children, we're not done yet. Tyre and Zidon, the central location for robbery. Tyre, Washington, D.C., Sidon, New York City, have been telling you, located off the coast, the East Coast, which is called Palestine. That's where the robbery been taking place on you. Black man Adam, speedily and swiftly I shall return the recompense and Tyre. Yes, and Sidon, you're not escaping and leave Tyre in a pickle all by itself. 2025 and 2026, when the war come, the prey, Russia, China, depart not out of Tyre nor Zidon until it's completely leveled to the ground. Recompense on your head. Coming your way, Tyre. Coming your way, Zidon. I tell you, the robbery done. Joel 3 verse 5. You have taken Tyre. Tyre, Zidon. You have taken my silver and my gold and have carried them in your own places, locking them up in Fort Knox, locking some of them up in the Vatican, locking it up in Britain as well. Yes, you are taking all my gold and silver and my valuable and pleasant godly things up in your defiled location. Yes, when you move it out of Tyre and Sidon, you move it into Fort Knox. You go give some to the King of England and you gave a whole bunch of it to Vicar of Christ, Roman Catholic Pope. But all of you, make sure you dust off and shine up those gold and silver to be ready to be handed back to Black Adam. Yes, Black Adam getting back his gold. Double time, he's getting back his silver. Times 2, and you, because you cannot produce the times 2, you can only work off the rest of it. Hard labor to pay off the balance that you owe, because everything you have taken, you shall return double, double, double. Not enough gold available to you to pay back the double on top of the one you already have. So you're going into hard labor. Joel 3 verse 6. Children of Judah, children of Jerusalem, you have sold. Yes, you have sold. In your sets to Wikevi, robbing them trust. That's how you sold them. You've been selling them to the Grecian. What the Grecian? Cover Gentile Caucasian, who they have in charge of you. They're called the Gentile in your Bible. Gomer, Esau, Delilah, Ahab, yes, Eve, whites, Caucasian, as they call themselves, and whites, we already know from last week's message, they are not white, but that's who Carey, Sidon sold you to, giving all kind of trust, money, giving all kind of money that's in your trust. To yes, the Grecian. The Grecian took your substance. We're gonna talk about that in Obadiah 1. Yes, and removed you from your wealth, removed you from your 5 divine law, strip you down into holes and put you in prison and continue to rob you. Divine intervention coming at this time. Joel 3 verse 7. But I shall raise Black Adam out of the hole you have him in, out of the prison. Children of Adam, you shall be removed from the robbery, spoiling done. Holes you're coming out of prison, bust open. Prison gate fly open right now for the children of Adam. When I raise them up out of the place ye have sold them in. Carey, Zidon, you think you can keep this black man down forever? Children, you must be out of your bleep, 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 bleep life. Children of Adam, selling of your trust, selling of your trust, selling of your property, selling of everything you own, selling of your mind, selling of your soul. Done! Carey has no more power over you. They didn't give you that memo. Consider this the memo. And I will return the recompense on Carey, Sidon head. Coming again upon your head. It tell you it's coming to your Carey. It tell you it's coming to your Sidon. In verse 4, it tell you recompense coming on your head. 3 more verses down, tell you again, coming upon your head, starting 4:24. That's when your time done. I've been telling you your time done. 2025, when the war broke out, Russia, China show up, and 2026, they level down the whole place, bring you to 2027, when the Passover done. Children coming their way. Anybody holding Adam under no hostage, you pick one out of the 5 hostage they're holding you in right now. Adam, break it free. No more reproach. No more reproaching of Adam. Psalms 31:11. I was a reproach among all my enemies who set up Carey and Zidon and put Gomer Gentile Caucasian in charge. Children, that done. Enemies, watch out. Your time short. 1, Lucifer. 2, Benelli. 3. CAIN. 4. Jezebel, Roman Catholic Pope. 5. Cabal. 6. Moab and Obama at this time. That's the one I'm talking about as well. 7. Ammon, Mormon at this time. 8. Go my Gentile Caucasian at the bottom of the stranglehold pit, holding your hostage. But guess what? Joel tell you recompense on all of them head, and they have to pay you back double, especially the ones that are living among me right now. Who head them up? Go, my Gentile Caucasian. Who they set up as well? Moab, Obama, telling me lies at this time. And Mormon, that's the one as well. Cabal, controlling up all of them. And who giving them instruction? CAIN, Philistine, Phoenician, the merchants. Those are the ones. The 5 of them, your neighbors living among you right now in the United States of America, trying to make sure you miss this chance that's coming to you. But you pass over. Sure can be. Yes, Adam. During your falling time, when they're busy reproaching you, all of them flee from you. No one have anything to do with you because they're busy robbing your money elsewhere. They don't need you. They don't need you when they don't need you. Children, Adam, they've been robbing you with your signature. Let me break the news to you. Your signature. You've been signing all kind of documents, and you're the only one signing those documents, and you're not putting specific instruction next to your signature. So they take that signature by itself. It's called what? A blank endorsement. Did you hear me? A blank endorsement. Did you hear me again? Yes. Blank endorsement. When you put your signature, you have to put instructions with it. Who it's payable to, is it non-negotiable, and you're reserving all your God-given rights. Those 3 things best be on everything you put your signature on while you're still doing signature. If you are that man that is solid in your foundation of the Lord thought, Melchizedek, Jehovah, you don't sign your autograph. Real man autograph. The dead man connected to that corporate entity, that dead entity, they set up with your name in all caps. That's a dead man. He signs the signature. And the dead woman, she signed the signature. But the live man and the live woman do an autograph. Sir! Either one of you, if you're doing your signature or your autograph, put additional instruction with it. Instruction number 1. Yes, always have payable to, and put back the all caps name. Payable to the all caps name. Payable to the all caps name. Payable to. That means anyone who try to cash in on your signature on the autograph, yes, payable go back to you instead of them. Did you hear me a while ago? When you put payable to the all cap name without recourse, any payment that need to go to someone else in the past now is going to you. That's what that instruction is. Payable to you. You're the only one that should be paid from your trust. That's the one get payable to. And then on top of that, you put without recourse. What does that mean? Yes, this is what it means. Without recourse to proclaim that you take no liability of this thing that you're signing, this thing that you're endorsing. Nobody can come back to you and hold you responsible for any debt Children of Adam, the endorsement made without recourse means you take on no liability. As the endorser, you take on no liability. You're not liable to pay anybody. That's what they've been signing on your documents. They've been signing payable to the order of Lehman Brothers without recourse. Payable to Northwest Mortgage without recourse. Payable to Chase. Payable to Bank of America. Payable to all the banks without recourse. That means they are not responsible. They just take over your endorsement because you didn't properly fill it in with your information. Just the same way they had filled it in. You gave them a blank endorsement with only your signature of the borrower. And they go in underneath the borrower signature and put in their information, transforming the document from a blank endorsement to a special endorsement, making payable the same amount as your mortgage amount to themselves. That's what they did. That's what they do when you do a half patch, a blank endorsement, an empty endorsement, an incomplete endorsement, an unperfected endorsement. They go in and special endorse it to pay to themselves with no liability to themselves. You cannot come back to them with any problem. That's why they put without recourse when you should be putting that, when you should have put that on your document. Yeah, they might try to fight you and force you, saying you can't put without recourse and you can't put pay to the order of yourself. No, go so. They will squeeze you, but you hold firm. That's your God-given right to make sure you put that you are a God-given man and you cannot be held responsible for no fictitious money, no fake money, no fiat money, none. Only lawful money that you should be working with. Gold and silver. That's it. That's your without recourse that you should have. All your documents going forward. That's how you do it. On that same paper with your signature or your autograph. Non-negotiable must be on it. Non-negotiable must be on it. Non-negotiable must be on it. They cannot use it for any other reason beyond the reason that you are releasing that signature or that autograph for. Yes, and the last thing you put on it, without prejudice, all rights reserved. That means you cannot be pulled in on the artificial admiralty law. That means you're standing firm in the common law of the Most High, and you're not partaking of no admiralty law. Children, reproaching time done. Psalms 31:11 that was. And then Zephaniah 2 verse 8. I have heard of the reproach of Moab, Obama, and Cabal, and their crow, and the reviling of Ammon. They're busy stealing your money and then have the nerve to come disrespect you and to be scorning you and to hating you and to look down on you and act like they're better than you. No gossip. Nothing goes as such. They have reproached my people. That's what the Lord has declared unto them. And you think their reproaching shall last when this 2024, 70 years are done? Children of Adam, reproaching time done. Children, Zephaniah 2 verse 9. The Lord, the God of Israel, said unto us, surely Moab, Obama and his crew shall be like Sodom, and Ammon, the Moorman, shall be like Gomorrah. Both of them going to be destroyed. Children of Adam surely coming their way, and I am going to destroy destroy them, just like how I destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Firmly decided upon them. Children, I keep telling you, these folks are being removed out the way right in front of your eyes. Everybody fleeing from Florida have been telling you Tampa and Fort Myers are the land of the Philistine, the land of the Canaanite. Yes, they're gonna get a lot of pressure. Time for their comfort zone to be disrupted. Children of Adam, I shall make Moab. I shall make Obama and his cabal crew. I shall make the Mormons and their money exchangers uncomfortable. Perpetual desolation. Coming. Perpetual destruction. Waste, destruction. Coming for both of them and all the crew that send them. That crew 1 through 8, desolation, destruction. The residue of my people shall spoil them, just as though they have spoiled Black Adam and robbed him, so shall it occur unto you. That's why it said, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you, because you rob and you spoil. Adam coming back on your own head, and the remnant of Adam, which is Jacob, shall possess Obama, Cabal, and his crew, and all their possession. And Ammon, you're not escaping. Mormon, you're not out of the woods as yet. You too shall be the possession of Jacob. Firmly decided unto you. Zephaniah 2 verse 10. Children of Adam, they have reproached you. They have reproached you and magnify, glorify themselves, show off themselves, exalt themselves, boasting of themselves against you. But that done, children, when the shoe start to flip on the other foot, everybody complaining, how come we're getting all kind of natural disaster? How come the country up in arms about who should be next president, Kamala, or whether it should be Trump, and whether this and whether that, and nobody is saying, what is the plan of the Lord? Vote Melchizedek, Jehovah, what is the Most High Elah, Yah, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh plan? Nobody talking about the plan of the Lord or the Most High Elah, talking about what man plan is all about and how do they fit themselves perfectly into man's plan. Man's plan has no way to survive past 2025 and 2026. Give him back his plan. Children of Adam, I'm talking to you now. Sound mind, the people of the Lord. Black Jerusalem, Jerusalem, Louis Jerome Armstrong. Louis Jerome Armstrong. That's the code word for Jerusalem. In the middle of Jerusalem is the location of the chosen people. USA, USA, Judah. The black leaders rising up right now, because we have some Judah that's running now. They're not Judah, they're Judas. They are the ones that sold you out to who? Ammon and Sodom, Ammon and Moab. Those are the ones who have been busy selling you up. Taskmasters they're called in your modern day time. But now we're moving back. But now we're moving back to Capul, Negro. That's the Black Pope, Louis Jerome Armstrong, being set back up as the most holy, anointed one for this planet, coming with his Levite priests. That's why I tell you, the Levite priests are back. They're coming back, and they're not coming alone. They're coming with the tribe of Judah 186,400. They're coming with the speed of light. Children of Judah, whose number is 186,400. That means he's operating at the velocity of light, at the speed of light. That means he's getting back his light body, handed back to him. Children, combine him with the Levi priests that are back. Children of Israel, Jacob in America, it's your turn. Children, none shall make you afraid. You shall stand up bold. Take your stand, children of Adam. My black man and the black woman, rally around your black man. You hear me? Rally with your black man. Stand next to him. Time to ride or die, my sister. Children, Psalms 102 verse 8. Mine enemies reproach me, but that done. 2024. All the day they were reproaching us. Children, but that done. They swore against me. All the swearing that they've been doing. Children of Adam, swear or sworn. Let me give you the true meaning of the word. Sworn. Webster Dictionary. Obsolete meaning? No, it's not. It was the meaning in 1619, in 1611, when this Bible was constructed. Children, to invoke what? The name of evil spirit, an evil being, in an oath that is sworn against children of Adam. Do you think your enemies were swearing to sacred light beings? To sacred celestial beings? No, to fallen beings and to fallen spirit. Yes, who else been reproaching you and styling and profiling upon you? Oh, Obadiah 1 verse 13. Oh, Obadiah 1 verse 13. Thou, O Esau, go, my Gentile Caucasian, white as you wrongfully claim yourself. Yes, you should not have entered into the gates of my people. Shouldn't in the time of their calamity. When? 1924, when they offered you the opportunity to come rule over Adam, to come rule over the remnant of the Shemite, you should have turned down that opportunity. Children of Adam, your calamity, yes, go my Gentile Caucasian, looked on your calamity and did nothing. But yes, the only thing that he did, he laid his hands on your economics. Your economics. That's what he did. That's why it said your trust, your economics was given into the hands of your neighbor, Goma Gentile Caucasian. Joel 3 verse 6. All the enemies have sold you into the hands of the Grecian, the Canaanite, who run Tyre and Zidon, who run DC and New York City, sold you into the hands of the Caucasian, that are the Grecian, Caucasian people. The Grecians, 1924, when he gave them authority to erect and put in place the Racial Integrity Act, started out in Virginia, the place and the location where the first colony was set up. He started it there to move the energy out to all the other states to put in Racial Integrity Act, changing white, which is a social status, meaning European, and you should be purified of sin, moving that, changing that to mean Caucasian complexion, when it's not, according to your Black's Law, 1933, the first time it appeared in the Black's Law Dictionary. White person, free white person, is not and does not mean Caucasian. But yet, he took the meaning and changed it over to himself and for himself under the guidance of Canaan, is Captain Canaan, who he married himself to. He married himself to his captain, which is Canaan. That's told unto you in the book of Genesis. Yes, the Japhethite living in your tent. Yes, they got instruction and help and service from Canaan. Esau married the daughters of Cain. Yes, Gomer Gentile Caucasian. The captain who's controlling him is Canaan. So Canaan took you, my black Adam, you Judah, you Jerusalem, sold you to the Caucasian and remove you from all of your 5 divine law. And here in Obadiah, it's telling you he took your feet off your 5 divine law, which is your substance, your economic, and took also your political and your social, and give you bad food. And just when you think he was done and over with, no, he come and took your head with white Jesus. Come and made himself your savior, your Messiah, a Caucasian man, which is what? Your servant. That's what he did. So he's being now chastised here. Obadiah 1 verse 13. You should not, O Caucasian, Esau, meaning for Esau, anagram for 3 things. First, CSEA, which means Europe, Single European Act. That's where the genesis of this system that's in America now started. Single European Act, which is also now known as EU. Second anagram for Esau. The third one is United States of America. Economics. Did you hear me? United States of America. Economics. USA, the E, economics. The third meaning, that is Esau, being represented now by Gomer Gentile Caucasian, also called Edom. So he's being chastised here. You should not have entered into America, especially Florida, where the pyramid is, and Denver, Colorado, where the other pyramid is, where my people, the holy ones and the not so holy ones, are residing. And then in their calamity, when Canaan running on them, you looked on in their calamities. You did not help, but what you did, you laid your hands on their economics as soon as Cain offered it to you. That's your error, Gomer Gentile Caucasian. That's why you're being beaten right now with all kind of different plagues, all kind of different weather, all kind of different economics, all kind of different political strife. Yes, recompense has to be returned for what you have done. Children, don't be surprised. Oh, Obadiah 1 verse 3. The pride of Esau that had been reproaching you. The pride of Esau thought that has been reproaching you. Yes, has deceived them. Esau, you're being deceived because you're running with Cain, and Cain telling you, no man, we have high principality. We have high principality that I can call up for you and they can get the job done to hold Adam hostage. Adam can't step up on you anytime soon. Esau, Gomer Gentile Caucasian, because we're working with demons and higher dimension beings in the lower fourth that are strictly red. So no one can bring you down. We got your back. Esau, that's what they boosted up his head with and didn't tell him. This came with a time limit and it came with all kind of consequences. Oh, Obadiah 1 verse 10. Esau, Gomer Gentile Caucasian, your violence against my people, Jacob. That's Adam in his fallen state. But guess what? Jacob has rise back up to Israel, and Israel is moving now to become your priest king. So, what do you think is gonna happen when the prince Israel is transformed into King David? Shame Esau shall cover you and you, Esau, along with Ammon, along with Moab, and the Mormons shall be cut off forever. Coming Jer with firmly decided upon you, children of Adam, playtime done. Psalm 42:10. Mine enemies reproach me while they say daily, daily they've been taunting me, daily they've been teasing me, daily they're casting curses on me, asking me, where is your God? Where is your Lord? So, but my Lord has returned. He told me, 2024, I shall live all the curse off you. 70 years, starting in 1954, when Jacob was born in a flesh, aka Louis Jerome Armstrong. That's when the curse began for Black Adam, and it shall last until 70 years. Yes, 70 years after the birth of Jacob Louis Jerome Armstrong. October 22nd, 1954, 70 years from now, if you're checking the 365 days per year, yes, it brings you up to October 22nd, when 2024. That's the time your curse fully lifted. Joel 2, verse 17. Let the priest, let the Levite shout with a loud voice and administer on your behalf unto the Lord. Children, our God is back. Our God is back. Yes, our Lord is back. Where is my God? He's right here with us. Children, yes, my Lord, spare your people, my Lord. God told Melchizedek, Yehovah, Adonai, Shema, my Lord, give not your chosen seed, give not your chosen people to no more reproach. Done it. End it, my Lord. Those heathen should rule over us. No. That done. My Lord, you have given back the information to us. You have given back when you're reversing all the reproach. We have heard your voice. We have waited patiently because we know you're a true God. Your word is true and your word is sure, and you're not going to double back on your word like our enemies who cannot be trusted from 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, our enemies, they are liars. They are liars. So we know their words are not true. But my Lord, let us get back our rule of this planet, my Lord. Where is their God? No more the wicked enemy can say that. We know you are with us. You're raising us up back. Yes, you're giving us the Holy Spirit, Miriam. And we're standing up strong and bold, not afraid. Yes, arise, oh Adam, arise, oh gods, arise, oh Adam, arise, oh Son of Man, arise, oh sons of God, arise. Your God is back. No problem identifying and locating where your God is at this time. Children of Adam, Zephaniah 3 verse 18. I, the Lord, says it, because your God is back. I will gather children of Adam that are sorrowful, that were being reproached. Yes, I will assemble them. Children of Adam, we who are your chosen people, we who have undergone all the reproach. It was a burden, but burden done. Yes, did you hear me? How our Lord thought, I will gather them told. I will gather them told. I will gather the people of thought. So, where is your Lord? Where is your Lord? He's right here working. I told you, I'm going to bring down your enemy right in front of your eyes, not behind your back, right in front of your eyes. And I shall gather you, and nothing they can do. Children of Adam, we're not done yet. Joel 2 verse 18. Then will the Lord be jealous for the United States of America, not the United States Corporation that is dead, that is gone. Children, yes, and I shall have pity on my people. What does that mean? I am going to defend this holy land of America. I'm going to ignite back up my holy pyramid in Denver, Colorado, hailing it as Mount Zion, the holy city. And I am setting back up, turning back on my other pyramid in Central Florida, west of Lake Okeechobee, called New Jerusalem, New City of Louis Jerome Armstrong. My land is setting back up. Children, I shall have pity on Black Adam, Black Jerusalem, Judah, Levite, Israel, Jacob, compassion and sympathy, and come back to them so the enemy can no longer ask them, where is your God? He's right here, standing with us. He's of the Spirit, so we know he's here. And if you're spiritless, you won't sense him. You won't know he's here with us. Joel 2 verse 19. Yes, yes, yes. The Lord shall answer his people, the children of Adam, and say unto you, I shall send your corn, children. Yes! Did you hear me? Corn coming your enemy way, and the good corn coming to you. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Genesis 41:5. And Pharaoh, king of America, America president, dreamed a second time. 7 bad corn coming his way, while 7 good corn coming your way. Children of Adam, Pharaoh never tell you about his dream of corn. Yes, I'm gonna tell you that dream. Genesis 41:6. Yes, 7 ill-fated corn waiting for Pharaoh, described as blasted with the east wind. Blasted with the east wind. Coming his way, children of Israel sprung up, and Pharaoh jumped out of the bush. And Pharaoh, that's the United States President Nebuchadnezzar, coming for him, son, king of Assyria, Pharaoh of Egypt, president of America, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, coming with the east wind. Yes, Nebuchadnezzar. That's Gog and Magog coming unto you, as described in the book of Daniel, as told unto you in the book of Ezekiel, as told unto you in the book of Nahum, telling you, yes, the enemy shall spring up in America during the stark time, during the rank time. 7-year blast of the east wind. 7 years, 2021 to 2027. We're now in 2024, which is a good year, a good corn, a good corn. 2025 is the stalk, corn, stalk, corn. Yes, 2026 is the rank corn, the extremely bad corn. 2025, bad. King Nebuchadnezzar of Gog and Magog coming for America by 2026. the rank, corn, America, fully march up, coming Pharaoh's way, blast with the east wind, corn again, 41:27 of Genesis. Yes, did you hear me? Genesis 41:27. 7 ill-favored corn show up on Pharaoh, coming for him. They came up suddenly, and after them came 7 years of blast with the east. When children of Adam coming with that 7 years, and you're in the last 3 now. Famine, famine, famine. No good news coming for Pharaoh at this time. Children of Adam, your God, your Lord is found for you right now. These things are coming for all those who cannot find nor locate their Lord God found. Melchizedek, Jehovah, that's why I keep telling you, turn your thoughts back to your Lord so you can find your Lord and He can locate you as well. 7 years of famine coming. You're in the midst of it right now. You're in a good year, which leading up to a bad year, 2025, which lead up to an extremely bad year, 2026. Children, all of the corn have to be emptied out by 2027. Famine coming your way, children of Israel. That's why the Lord said, I'm bringing your corn to move your enemy out the way, so you shall eat the right corn. Economics on top of economics coming your way. When bad weather, natural disasters coming your enemies' way. That's why you see now all kind of hurricane brewing up in Florida, mashing up all of Florida, running across North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. That's where your kingdom shall be, and the land has to be cleared. I shall drive out your enemies right in front of your face. Not doing it behind your back, Black Adam. Not doing it behind your back. Children of Lewis, children. Time for the natural disasters, the ill-favored corn, the ill-favored CAIN, the ill-favored corn to show up. After them, there shall be no more. Once they are done, 2026, 2027, you're setting up your new government in place. Children, we're not done yet. What else your Lord said? I shall send you wine. Children of Adam, you didn't know wine was coming? Let me remind you. Genesis 14:18. The Lord thought, Melchizedek Jehovah, King of Salem, King of the house of bread, brought bread and what else? Wine! Wine! For you, children of Adam, children of Israel, children of Lewis. Why? John 4 verse 46. Jesus. No, not that white Jesus. The right pronunciation, the right translation, the right anagram. Jesus is the first regenerated saint. King Louis Jerome Armstrong, the first to regenerate, is 13 in one seed. He made you turn water into wine. Children of Adam coming your way. Water is called the holy breath. It's called bread as well. That's why he said Melchizedek bringing water, which is bread, and wine. Children, you are going to join that energy, that spiritual energy, that holy breath, that Holy Ghost coming raining down upon you. I shall rain down bread. I shall rain down water. I shall rain down manna on you. Instruction given back to you. Once that water come down on you, yes, come down through your crown, come in through the 5 inlets on the left-hand side of your body. Yes, there's 5 inlets ready to let in the holy bread, the holy breath through your nostrils as well, through your mouth as well, coming in into your body, flowing abundantly. Come into your body. It shall convert, transform, transmute, change your body from an old broken down body, an old broken down body, giving you new blood that's turned back on by your 13-in-1 seed being activated. That's the process to go from Aaron to Miriam. That's why the Lord said, I brought you, Aaron and Miriam, O Moses, when I brought you out of Egypt. I am bringing the children of Adam by joining Aaron, letting Aaron flow through their body, convert itself to wine, blood, new blood, so they can come out of Egypt and leave their enemy standing in the dust. Coming your way, Melchizedek Thoth, bringing bread and wine to make you into the praise of the Most High Elah, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He. Children, we're not done yet. Luke chapter 5, verse 36 to verse 39. And the Lord spoke unto you and said, no, children of Adam, put new wine into old bottles. You cannot get your new transformed blood put into your broke down body, your defiled body. No! That's why I've been telling you, you need to go back to eating as Genesis 1 verse 29 has instructed you. Vegetable, fruit that are seeded, your only food. That's the instruction given unto you. No meat, no starch, no dairy, no sugar, no matter how come tempt you with it. None. So you can get back your new bottle and it's filled up with new wine, which is what? No regenerative blood. Yes, new wine must be put in new bottles. New spiritual blood must be put in your new immortal body. Can't go into your defiled body. So, no man, no Jacob, having drink of the old wine, meat, starch, dairy, sugar, and all kind of bad vibes. Yes, desire new things, new blood to put in his body, to put in his thoughts. But you're going to have to drop all those drunken old things, those old wine, those old ideas that you've been clinging on to, because no new wine can be put into old bottles. Children, esoteric chemistry, the zodiac and the salts of salvation, written by Dr. Carey, giving you back your information. God's creative forming of a new race in the age of the morning, which is what? Your Passover, your 7-year Passover, your 7 years of corn. That's your new age brewing up on you. So, all who desire physical regeneration, regenerating your physical body into a spiritual body, completely attached and attuned with your physical body. That's how you regenerate your body, by turning back on your 13-in-1 seed in order to build new tissue, new cells, new nerves, new fluid, a new brain cell, a new tree of life, new arteries, new organs within the body. Yes, you have to. Yes, you have to. Yes, you have to. Bring in the new blood, thus literally making a new body, a new bottle. Same meaning, you got to make back that new bottle by regenerating yourself, regenerating your body, regenerating your blood. So, be it known to all men that the word wine has used in the scripture mean blood, mean blood. So, that's what the Lord is coming back with. New blood. You got to put back that new blood in your body. You got to move back to your 13-in-1 seed. You got to move back to stop defiling your body. Moving back to Genesis 1 verse 29. Eating vegetable, green herbs, and seeded fruits shall be your only food. No meat, no starch, no dairy, no sugar. Did you hear me? No meat. Regardless of if it fly in the sky, or if it swim in the water, or if it run up and down on the land with you. Doesn't matter. Also means sap of tree, the juice of vegetable, and the juice of fruit. That's why I'm telling you, you must go back to Genesis 1 verse 29, which carries the sap of the trees and the juice of the vegetables and of the fruit to help you build back your new wine and bring back your new bottle. That's what the Lord bringing your way when he said, I shall send your wine. Children of Adam, it's coming back to you where you shall regenerate your body. Walk into that instruction. Walk into that law, and it shall be a part of you. If you don't step to it, it won't step to you. As simple as I can give it to you. Children, we'll go back. We're not done yet with all the things the Lord bringing to you. What else is on the list? I will send you oil. What is oil? It's not the oil from BP gas station, nor from Sunoco, nor from any of the other oil, whether Crisco oil, or Mazola oil, or coconut oil. No. Rebram oil. You produce the oil yourself. It's produced in your head, in your ram's horn. I shall bring you oil of the ram's oil, thousands and thousand time increase, because every oil that goes back up to your ram's horn is increased 1,000 times. That's the oil that starts in your cerebrum, your ram's horn. It sends it down through your spinal cord, your River Jordan, down to your Dead Sea, which is your sacrum, where all your negative energy reside at, and your negative energy has two zones where they correspond together. Your solar plex and your sacrum, they normally team up to give you all kind of negative, and your solar plex, when you try to break free, it give you sex on top of sex and shove you back down into your sacrum. That's what your enemy use to keep you locked in those two zones. But when I send you oil, the right oil, it goes down into your sacrum and get stirred up. 1/10 of it, 1/10 of it, 1/10 of it, which is your offering of what you're giving up to send back up to your upper kingdom, your head. That's the oil function that's coming back to you. It's been working every month, once a month. This process works to send back your seed to your upper kingdom. But it's been killed all along in your sacrum and your solar plex. They team up with negative. One lock you in food, hatred, war, and fighting, and the other one lock you in sex. So, how you break free? This oil is coming, which now you're going to partake in by cleansing up your body. Genesis 1 verse 29. Once you move back to your right food that you're nourishing your body with, and you're not cooking any of your food. Did you hear me? You're not cooking any of your food. I said, did you hear me? You're not cooking any of your food. None of your food is being cooked by fire or by heat. That's how you get rid of your enemies once and for all, because you're completely off their law of food. They gave you warm food. They gave you cooked food. The Lord did not give you no cooked food. The Most High did not give you no cooked food. And in fact, when you get off their cooked food, their demons that's attached to the food, and their sex demon, and their war demon, and their fussing and fighting demon, and all kind of demons they put around you to stress you out and keep you in a negative approach, in a negative state of mind. God! So, break free of the food. That's the last barriers. Many of the children of Adam who are moving back to the kingdom of light, who have returned unto the Lord, but you did not know there's this piece of the agreement of the covenant that is left open for you to completely close it. And that is the heated food, the cooked food, the warm food. Once you get the warm food out and sticking strictly to vegetables, herbs, and seeded fruit, these beings, these enemies of yours, and all the demons and elemental they tie themselves with, have no more power over you, because you're on your covenant 100%. Yes, Matthew 25 verse 3. The foolish heard neophyte the AG and said what he's saying is rubbish. We won't stop eating our food, our meat, our starch, our dairy, our sugar. We love it. We're not stopping. And therefore, they took no oil with them. Children of Adam, not what I want for you. The wise virgins. This is your instruction. I've been telling you, clear up your food, clear up your thoughts, turn yourself back to the Most High and the Lord Melchizedek, law, commandment, and statute. You are called the wise virgin, the wise children of Adam took oil in their body. Yes, that's the process I just described that you did. You let that oil flow from your cerebrum. It's called cerebrum. It's called cerebrum spinal fluid, CSF. It flows down into your sacrum. Then it boils up. It generates enough energy because you're not bringing in any darkness in your solar plex, nor in your sacrum to make that oil filthy, defiled, and disgusting, because you change your thoughts from all these wicked things, from all these sexual things, from all these money things, from all these hate, anger, fear, jealousy, and you transmuted them to light. Yes, harmony, love, peace. That's what you now practice. So in your sacrum, there's no more darkness to darken your spinal cord fluid, your oil, so it can flow up. 1/10 of it flow up every 29 and a half days back from your sacrum to your upper kingdom where it came from. That's the process. Then on its journey from your sacrum, your Dead Sea, traveling up your spinal cord, your River Jordan, it has to pass through the crucifixion point. Yes, crucify doesn't mean to kill nobody. Doesn't. That's a lie. Your enemies came and dropped squarely on your lap, Crucify means to increase the energy coming from your sacrum, traveling up your river Jordan, increasing it 1,000 times. That's why it says again, I shall make sure your ram's horn, your ram, increase in its oil, 1,000 on top of 1,000 on top of 1,000, 12,000. That's how many months you got to let that sacrum oil come back up to the upper kingdom with your seed. Every 29 and a half days, it occurs, and 12th time it needs to occur, and you doing that function, making it 13. That's why it's called a 13 in one seed. Giving you back your information. That's the vessel. You are the kingdom. You are the vessel. You are the temple that need to perform this function. So your light can turn back on. Your lamp can turn back on. What is all of that? Neophyte DJ. Now, when the oil flows up, it goes through the crucifixion point. That is where your Ida Pingala intersect with your tree of life, your pneumogastric nerve. That's the intersection point where the energy increases 1,000 times before it goes into your cerebellum, which is your Golgotha, which is your Calvary. Many different names in your Bible to disguise and to hide where in your body it's actually going once it passed through the energy crossing point. It goes back into your cerebellum. Therefore, it goes back into your kingdom. Once it goes there, it stays there for 2.5 days. And then the half of that day, the half of the remaining day, it goes through into your pineal. Then light up back your optic thalamus, which is your eye, your lamp of God, so you can see the Lord's kingdom, the Most High kingdom, plainly in front of you. All information right in front of you. Everything that's hidden from you right in front of you now, visibly. Now you're seeing clearly, not eyes darkly. Eyes seeing clearly. That's the process being described unto you, wise virgin, that took the oil that your Lord is bringing into your body, run it through that process successfully because you have created the conditions with your body so it can run successfully and get back to your upper kingdom, release its energy back on your pineal and on your optic thalamus, your eye, your lamp of God. That's the process that needs to work, and it needs you to get out the way and start bringing now good thoughts, good energy, positive feeling, and eating the right food as described unto you in Genesis 1 verse 29. And nothing that goes in your body should be cooked or heated up to destroy all the nourishments and mineral that's naturally in your fruits and your vegetables. Giving you back your oil, it's coming your way. Children, my Lord, you have prepared a table before me in front of all my enemy, and I fear them not. I have no fear for them, because you have anointed my head with oil. As your promise, you're sending back oil. That's the oil that let all your enemies disappear, vanish, vamoose, take with themselves away from you. Because you what? You brought back that oil in your head. You send it down through your spinal cord, all the way down to your sacrum. Let the sacrum build up with positive energy, with positive light. And that's where the wine sends back up that oil through your spinal cord, pass it through your crossing point, your crucifixion point, where your Ida Pingala intersect with your pneumogastric nerve, and then it sends it up into your cerebellum for 2.5 days, and then it releases that energy from your cerebellum, and out it goes into your pineal, and then it hits your optic thalamus. All of that is your upper kingdom, your temple. Yes, your ram's horn shall generate 1,000 upon 1,000 oil, giving you back your information, your solar plex gets so much filled up with that oil that's coming from your head down to your lower kingdom, it has to spill over. It has to bubble over. It runs over. It goes back up through your spinal cord fluid, 1/10 of it every 29 and a half days, and during the month, each day of the month, it goes back up again through your Ida Pingala back to your upper kingdom, and then that once a month, it goes through your spinal cord. It's working every day, but that one time per month, that's when you get the seed dropping down in your sacrum, ready to come back up. If you haven't killed it off with sex, food, bad thoughts, bad living, hate, anger, jealousy, fear, all kind of controversy, all kind of chaos you keep yourself in. That's why you have to transmute darkness to light. Get those thoughts out your head. Turn your thoughts back to the Lord. That's the quickest way to transmute negative thoughts. Once you're thinking about the Lord, you cannot be thinking about these negative things as well. Therefore, purifying your lower kingdom, your sacrum, and your solar plex. So when the oil keeps flowing down in it, it can go back up to your upper kingdom, undefiled, not spoiled, or not get killed off in the lower kingdom, the Dead Sea. That's why it's called the Dead Sea. Things go down into your sacrum and your solar plex, they die immediately and they don't return back to the upper kingdom, your Eden, your cerebrum. Children, let your cup run over now and let your energy flow back up to your head so you can get the full anointment of your oil. It's coming back your way. So children of Adam, I have answered you, and I told you, yes, I told my people, I will send them corn, I will send them wine, I will send them oil, coming their way. Sure can be. I will no more make you a reproach among your enemies. Done. No more reproach shall you be. Children of Adam, none Goma shall hold you as no reproach. None Moab shall hold you in no reproach. Obama and him friend them gone. Yes, Ammon, Mormon. No, they can't scorn you and look down on you anymore. Talking about black man not qualified to come into there. More. When it's you, a black man, Joseph Smith, a black man who started the whole movement to begin with, and they can rubbish. Children of Adam, we're not done yet. Cabal! Tuck your hand in your jacket as much as you want, but you cannot stop the corn, the wine, the oil coming back for the children of Adam. So your curse, your voodoo can't work anymore on the children of Adam. Done. Joshua 24, verse 9. Done. Joshua 24, verse 9. Done. Cain, no matter how much strength BEL is sending down your way, it cannot work anymore. Your merchant system have robbed the children of Israel blind and given Balak permission, Ammon permission, Moab permission, Gomer permission to rob the children of Adam. Done. Time of the merchants, done. 2025, the stock coming their way. 2026, rank extremely bad. Coming Canaan way, coming Cabal way, coming the Mormon way, coming Obama and his crew, all his taskmaster crew, coming their way, coming, go my Gentile Caucasian way, as well, firmly decided, children of Adam, coming every one of them way. Woodrow Wilson. This brings us to Woodrow Wilson, 1856 to 1924. That's the amount of years that he lived as a Moabite. He's the 28th president of the United States of America. That's the country itself, the live country. And he was also the president of the United States Corporation, the dead country. Yes, two countries running at the same time. One is a live one is a dead one. Just the same as you. You are live with your original name spelled in upper and lower case, and you are dead, that second one that they set up in all caps. Children of Adam, here to give you back your information. Corporation means corpse, means dead body. The body is dead. Nothing real about that United States. It's a dead corpse, a corporation in their Latin word. Children, I can't tell you something without being able to prove it. 8 USC section 111 definition 22. The national of the United States means a citizen, a city slave of United States, allegiance to United States. Where is America? It's not there. It's not there. Meaning they're only talking about United States Corporation. 28 USC section 3002 item 15 a United States mean a federal corporation. I'm telling you, over and over, there's a United States running up and down, mirroring United States of America, but they're not the same. One is the country itself, and the other one is the corporation set up to transact business with the Rothschild European bankers. Children, we're not done yet. Where is the location of United States? I ask you again, where is the location of United States? Because if you're a citizen of United States, you have to be living in United States. Yes, UCC, Uniform Commercial Code 9, Section 307, location of the debtor, location of the debtor. Who is the debtor? Who is the one that owes money? That's a debtor, one who owes money or some type of payment to someone else. Location of the debtor, location of United States. United States is located where? District of Columbia, D.C. So if you're a citizen, you could have lived out in California, you're still living in D.C. You could live out in New York, you're still living in D.C. You could be living in Texas, but you're still living in D.C. If you are a United States citizen, giving you back your information, my brothers and sisters. You got to know now what the Moabites have done to set you up for this destruction in the last 100 years. D.C., District of Columbia, is a country within a country. Black Laws Dictionary, District of Columbia, Country of Columbia, legally, it's neither a state, no it's not, nor a territory, no it's not, but it's made by Constitution, exclusive jurisdiction of who controlling it? Congress. That's where they set up this new country, and Congress is made to run that new country. Not your president of United States. It's made and it's subject to Congress. President of the United States is a puppet figurehead. Children, You got to know your information now. United States is located in D.C. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of your United States Constitution, not United States of America. United States. That means America has no involvement in that Constitution. Children, D.C., Tyre, that wicked city, that evil city, that bloody city, full of a robbery, has given unto you in Nahum 3, verse 1. Telling you that evil, bloody city, full of lies and robbery, been robbing you all along, but the robbery has finally ended. Children, this is why they're robbing you. Everybody know, up in Congress, Treaty of Paris, 1783, that is when America got its independence and changed up itself to United States Corporation. That's what they did. They immediately thereafter issued shares into the United States Corporation. And guess who bought it up? The creditors, the Rothschild family, the Rothschild family all over Europe bought up the United States shares. And then the Rothschild turned around and said, all that money and expense you cost us during the American Revolutionary War, all that money you cost us during the American War for revolutionary freedom, you have to pay us back. And they came up with the Treaty of Paris, Article 4, the fourth article, creditors. It is agreed that the creditors, Rothschild, on either side shall be lawfully paid back, lawfully recover full value of all that they spent on your war effort. In what? Sterling money? Money means lawful money. Gold and silver? All the debt that they incurred, even though they were fighting you to make sure that you didn't get free, they want you to pay, because to the victor belongs the spoil. Even though they tell you America won the war, they did not win the war. They won the war in view, in picture, in their mind. But the real winners were the bankers and United Kingdom. That's what it was. That's what it is. Even in the Treaty of Paris, when King George addressed himself in the introduction to the Treaty of Paris, he introduced himself as the King of America, the King of America, the Holy Roman Emperor, the Holy Roman King of America, telling you America is controlled by the Roman Emperor, the Vicar of Christ, and the Vatican, and it's still being controlled by the English, the Englander royal family. Giving you back your information so you know Congress shall be set up and recommend laws, international laws, to provide for payments back to the Rothschild creditors. That's what they made. That's the agreement made as part of this new United States of America and the United States Corporation. Then they set up Congress in where? Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, enclave clause, meaning this clause, we're going to set up an enclosure of our body of government, separate and independent of United States of America, to exercise exclusive public laws, public policies in all cases, legislative, executive, judicial, in where? A district that will set up for ourselves, the Rothschild bankers, not exceeding 10 miles radius, 10 square miles radius, Congress to become the seat of government of where? United States Corporation. No America in it. That's where it tells you now the location of United States is where? Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. That's where Congress got set up as that federal district. District of Columbia. And in order for you to be a citizen after the Civil War, and they passed the 14th Amendment, they move every one of you by your address into Washington, D.C., no matter what part of the American land you're living on. Once you have a zip code, you're in Washington, D.C. If you don't put brackets around the zip code is created to bring you right back into DC. If you put your address without the zip code, you're not in DC. And if you put brackets around that zip code, you're not in DC. But again, that's where they put you. Compliments in the last days of Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson! He was born in Virginia, 1856. He grew up in the South and he experienced the Civil War when the South was warring with the North. He was president of Princeton University, 1902 to 1910, before he became president of the United States Corporation. He was governor of New Jersey, 1911 to 1913, before he became president of the United States Corporation. He became president of the United States of America and the United States Corporation in 1913. In 1913, as immediately as he was elected, he authorized and promoted segregation of the white social status black people against the black indigenous people, Negro in America. That's what he did. To show you again, Moabite always reproaching you, always scorning you, always looking down on you, and every opportunity Moab get, he make sure he put his foot on your neck and rob your money. That's what he did. In 1913, the same year he got elected, he passed the Revenue Act on behalf of the Rothschild international bankers, which started all of your modern day problems. Your income tax, filing 1040 and reporting income and giving it back to the Rothschild family. That's what he did. Your problems you're having now with IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, is part of this Revenue Act that he put in place. Moabite President Woodrow Wilson, in 1913, he was still busy figuring out ways to come rob the children of Adam. The black man indigenous to this land, he passed the Federal Reserve Act, which created the Rothschild International Bankers Charter to operate a bank in the United States, running the United States as a government of its own, handling its business in D.C. That's what he set up on your land, to be the Bank of the United States Corporation. The one that's housed in D.C. That doesn't mean it's headquartered in D.C. It's the country. The whole country of United States Corporation is in D.C. It exists nowhere else. If you don't live in that country, they can't tax you. That's why they give you a zip code. Didn't tell you why they give it to you, so they can put you in the District of Columbia as a resident of Columbia, no matter where on the planet you're living. Once they send you a zip code, that automatically put you in DC. Any mail they send you with a zip code automatically put you in DC, unless you remove the zip code or put two brackets around the zip code. Children of Adam, that's what he did. Federal Corporation, Federal Reserve, what is that? Federal Reserve Bank that was allowed to be set up by Moabite Woodrow Wilson. Federal Reserve Bank are set up like what? A corporation. A corporation. One corporation running the business of another corporation, the United States Corporation. During his presidency, he was counseled by the robbers of all robbers. The robbers of all robbers. Yes, I said, did you hear me? He was counseled by the robbers of all robbers. Edward Mandell has to scheme up how to rob the black man Adam blind of everything that he had and will ever have in his lifetime until 2024. That's the plan that was hatched 1913 to make sure for the next 100 years or so they're gonna hold you in financial slavery. Dead slavery. Don't believe, don't think because you were freed from the American Civil War and you got emancipation and you got Amendment 14 making you citizen, but they didn't tell you citizen means city slave, and to go with that city slave, they have to make sure they hatch a scheme for the next 100 years to make sure you move from the plantation being holding you as a slave to the bankers holding you as a debt slave. Children of Adam, that scheme is the straw man scheme. Artificial person, public transmitting utility trust, also called ends leges. Ends leges, a creature, a fictitious creature of the law. Children, so you can pay the debt of the United States Corporation owed to the European Rothschild International Banker. That's why I showed you where the debtor is located. And I gave you the exact location under Uniform Commercial Code UCC 9-307 Section H, location of the debtor, United States, up in the District of Columbia, where they move you and let you take over the debt for them. That's going on, children of Adam. Giving you back your information. Children of Adam, you have identified where the debtor is. That move your information over to the debt, creating straw man, artificial person, public transmitting utility trust, as they call it, fancy name, ends leges, all kind of Latin name, to replace United States Corporation as the debtor to you. That's the debt slavery. They have you in compliments of the Rothschild family. And who's passing it on their behalf? Black Moabite Woodrow Wilson. In 1917, he asked Congress for the declaration of war to fight in World War I to help wipe out the rest of the Black Adam from Europe that were there at that time. That's the first phase of wiping out all the Black Europeans that remained. And then World War II finished the job. Children of Adam, Woodrow Wilson's wife, Ellen Axon Wilson, was black, and black can be. Children, we go to this book. Ellen and Edith, those were the two wives of Woodrow Wilson, First Lady, by Christy Miller, page 39 of that book. Ellen was what? Brown and ruddy. Hear me now, I don't even need to go further. Once they use brown, you know that's a black woman. And once they use ruddy, it's a black woman as well. Ruddy, as I showed you from the Form 2203. Red, ruddy red, or bright yellow, ruddy yellow. Children, we're not stopping there. Ruddy red on the left-hand side of the screen. Ruddy gold, ruddy yellow on the right-hand side of your screen, in case they try to get the whole thing twisted. Caucasian, in an effort to hide his lies, Been telling you, ruddy means a white man that has a sunburnt look. Red, 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 because he stayed out in the sun far too long. Not gossa. Not a thing goes like that. Rosacea or sunburn is not ruddy. Ruddy is a red hair with a copper color skin complexion or a light skin complexion. Nothing to do with Caucasian. No rosacea, no sunburn. You wouldn't be getting sunburn if you stayed in the Northeast Europe where it was allotted, given, assigned to you. You're in a location that you shouldn't be if you're getting sunburn effect that is having negative effect on your body. Most I wouldn't put you in places not compatible to you. That's why he gave you the northeast portion to the Caucasian, the Japhetite, Goma Gentile Caucasian, left the northeast and came down to the middle of the planet. The middle zone are the Shemite zone. Shemites not getting no sunburn in their own location. Hamites get the hot region by the equator, not getting any sunburn, being in their own sector. Yeah, Goma Gentile Caucasian, out of the location where you need to be, and Russia, Gog has to come collect you in 2026 and bring you back to the location you rightfully belong. Woodrow Wilson's daughter, Jessie Wilson, was a black woman. Woodrow Wilson, a biography by John Milton Cooper Jr., page 257 of that book. Jessie Woodrow Wilson's daughter was what? Rosy complexion. Rosy. What does that mean? Tricky word. Rosy complexion. Rosy mean florid. Still the same as ruddy. Ruddy red. Rose have a reddish color, or ruddy or florid red color. Same meaning as rosy. Ruddy or florid. You want to prove it? Neophyte DAG is not going in the right direction. Let's prove it out. Children of Adam, the true Andrew Jackson by Cyrus Townsend Brady, LLD. When we went over Andrew Jackson and his family, Mrs. Jackson, rosy in complexion. That's what it said in that book, page 166. But in the same book, page 167, Mrs. Jackson, florid in complexion. So rosy and florid have the same meaning a reddish color, and florid is the same as ruddy red, meaning the same. But we're not stopping there. Oh, we still go on in that book, the true Andrew Jackson. Moving on in that book, page 169, Lady Jackson, her complexion was what? So dark. It's a black woman. Whether you see rosy, whether you see florid, whether you see ruddy, it means a dark complexion man or a woman. So we're moving on. Woodrow Wilson, wife Edith Bolling Wilson was black. Just the same. We're not done with this book as yet. Ellen and Edith by Christy Miller, the First Lady. Page 109 of that book. Edith was rosy complexion. Do we need to go any further to prove out this rosy? She's a black woman. We're not spending the time on what we already discussed. So his first wife, Ellen, rosy, black woman. His second wife, Edith, rosy, black woman as well. And we're not done as yet. Edith Galt, that's the name of his wife, the maiden name of her, was an attractive brunette, has given unto you, Madam President, the secret presidency of Edith Wilson by William Hazelgrove. Brunette. What is brunette? They come and trick you up with that word, tell you it's a brunette here, woman, a Caucasian with brunette here. No, gossa! Not a thing goes like that. Brunette, Webster 1828, a woman with brown or dark complexion. That's brunette for you. Brown woman, dark-skinned woman. No other way, no other way. Children, we're not stopping there. The life of Mary Stuart, the Queen of Scotland. This is King James' mother, written by Rosalie Kaufman, page 46 of that book. Mary, the Queen of Scotland. Her complexion is what? Brunette, which is brown, dark-skinned woman. Say meaning again. Say meaning. I'm giving you the words that they use to cast spells upon you to let you think it's something else, but it is not. It leads back to you. If they don't come out and say Caucasian or pale skin, everything else that they put with a complexion mean they're black. That's what Gomer Gentile made sure he had all the books change up and tricky up to give you all kind of misinformation. The love of an uncrowned queen, Sophia Dorothea, that is the consort, the queen of King George I, William W. H. Wilkins, wrote that book. Page 54, Sophia Dorothea, the Queen of England, the Queen of King George. She was a brunette with dark brown and black hair. So it's not talking about her hair. It's talking about her complexion. What is brunette again? A brown or dark complexion woman. And she was from where? France. Black woman again. Black people living in France. If she was a queen from France, that means the king over in France at the time was what? Black too. Children, sound mind time. Back on your shoulder. Mary and Martha, George Washington's wife and George Washington's stepdaughter. His stepdaughter, which is called Martha, young woman, the dark lady. She was called because of her deep brunette, her black, her so dark complexion. That's George Washington's wife and his daughter, his stepdaughter, given to you in this book, Mary and Martha, the mother and the wife of George Washington, by Benson Lossing, LLD, page 119 of that book. Again, similarities. The word brunette is being used to disguise that they are brown or dark complexion people. Children, the life of Andrew Jackson in 3 volumes by James Parton, page 161 of that book. Her complexion, which is Miss Jackson. You see how many complexion they gave poor Miss Jackson. They about 4 different complexion types, and it all lead back to what? She was a dark woman. Miss Jackson, sparkling brunette. She was brunette again. Dark complexion woman. Anytime you see brunette, replace it with dark or brown skin. Anytime you see it, replace it with that immediately. Children, Robert E. Lee, yes, the southerner in the Civil War, he was black and his wife was what? Young Lady Pa, the Eleanor Agnes, the wife of Robert E. Lee, was brunette. Brunette again. Dark complexion woman, a brown skinned woman, has given unto you Robert E. Lee, a portrait by Margaret Sanborn, page 94 of that book. Whenever you see brunette, quickly replace it with a black woman, a brown woman, or a dark complexion woman. Children, Woodrow Wilson, his cousin Helen Bones, was black. Not stopping here. Woodrow Wilson, a world statesman, no, a world robber of the children of Adam, a black Moabite robber of the children of Adam, written by Kendrick A. Clements, page 149 of that book. Dark, and pretty was the president's cousin, Helen Bones. The cousin of Woodrow Wilson was a black woman, dark. That means she is part of his brother and sister line of family. She's dark. What do you think Woodrow Wilson is? Dark as well. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out by now. His 2 wives. First wife, second wife, black woman. First wife, second wife, black woman. His daughter, Jessie, black woman. His cousin is a black woman, and his cousin was the one who introduced him to Edith, another black woman that became his wife. All black women around Woodrow Wilson. Children, Woodrow Wilson, biggest rival when he was the president at Princeton University. That man's name was Andrew West, was black. Everybody around him black. All the women around him are black. All the women around him in his house black. And when he went to work, he was among black men. Woodrow Wilson, life and letter at Princeton, 1890 to 1910 by Ray Stannard Baker. Page 180 of that book. Yes, Andrew West, he was ruddy complexion. His skin was ruddy. What's the meaning of ruddy? I've been telling you over and over. Ruddy red or ruddy yellow. That is West. Andrew Woodrow Wilson, biggest rival. Children, we're not done yet. Wilson hated West. Yes, Woodrow Wilson, a psychological study by Sigmund Freud and William C. Bullitt, page 121 of that book. Woodrow Wilson hated the black man West because they had too much in common. They were black, and from this book over here, they told you Wilson and West were both Scotch and Irish, Scotch and Irish descent. That's where they're from. They're Scotlanders and Irelanders. That's why I walked you through the muster roll and I walked you through Form 2203. Your intention as a black man in America. So, going back here, West, the big dark man represented whose father? Woodrow Wilson father, already also a dark man, but let's stay on West at this time. West, dark man. So, Woodrow Wilson at home, having his wife, both of them black, his daughter Jessie, black as well, his cousin Helen, black. At work, running rivalry at Princeton University was Andrew West, who was a dark man, and that dark man is just like Woodrow Wilson's father. That dark man represented in Woodrow Wilson's mind, yes, his father. Hear me now, hear me well. Woodrow Wilson, black man, just the same. Children, black MOAB president Woodrow Wilson. Yes, we're not done as yet. Wilson A. Scott Berg wrote that book. Page 195 of that book. Wilson, tall, and what? Trim and what? Tan. Hear me now, look like Wilson been taking vacation every minute. He's always tan, as you're going to see from all the books. I've been telling you what is tan. Tan means bronzed. Look at Webster dictionary meaning in your modern day. Under bronze, you see tan. Tan. What is bronze as well? Because tan is bronze and bronze is tan. What is bronze? Copper color, going back to a black brown skinned man. Any variation of copper, that is the brown color. Yellowish brown, that is bronze. So Wilson is tan, he's yellowish brown. No more of the nonsense can work on awaken children of Adam. Children, young hickory. We go back to Andrew Jackson because these are spell words they've been using on you. Andrew Jackson, page 108 of that book. Andrew Jackson was what? So tanned. Again, tan. Using as a spell word, but we broke it down for you, meaning brown, yellowish brown. So they can't use that word and come trick you what no more. So, Andrew Jackson again, by Marquis James, page 52 of that book. Rachel, Andrew Jackson's wife, was what? Tanned as an Indian. That's the comparison Tan is drawn next to. When they say you're tan, you are as tan as an Indian. Who is the Indian? The black man, indigenous to America. Bringing you back to brown complexion, yellowish brown complexion. The people ruling over you, the Moabites, are the same color as you. Children of Adam, sound mind time, coming back to you. Well, son, we go back to this book. Yes, page 256. Again, this man is telling you, President-elect was tan. Wilson was tan. Why this man keep tanning and tanning and tanning? Children, he's a brown-skinned man, yellowish brown, brown copper color skinned man. Page 339 of that same book, the president was what? Tan! 3 times again. They're telling you Wilson is tan over and over. They keep saying he's tan. Either he had a tanning booth up in the White House at all time. Hear me now and hear me well. Can't be tan without being a black man. Yeah, tan one time. You go on a summer vacation. Mr. Caucasian man. Yes, you come back tan, mainly sunburn instead of tan. But if you're tanning all year round, has to be something naturally tanning that belongs to you. That's your complexion, Mr. Wilson. Tan complexion. Children of Adam. Another book, Woodrow Wilson, a biography by John Milton Cooper Jr. Page 256 of that book. Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, his skin was what? Tanned again. Everybody tanning up Mr. Wilson. Everybody tanning up Moabite President Wilson. He must be a black man. Cannot be anything else, no matter how much they try to trick it. Children, the spell is done, as I tell you. The curse has been lifted. It's been lifting and lifting, but it's going into adrenaline mode starting in 2024, because this whole thing that Goma Gentile is sitting on is a ticking time bomb that's going to explode in his face. 25, 26. So make sure you get out of his way and don't let anything splash on you that is meant for him. Children, Wilson, A. Scottberg, page 708 of that book. Woodrow Wilson, his skin was what? Yellow, ruddy, yellow, or copper, tanned color. That's what bronze is. Bronze, yellowish brown. Yellowish brown. So when you go here and you see his skin is yellow, a ruddy yellow, that is Wilson, the president, a black man. You don't describe a Caucasian as yellow and all kind of bronzish and tannish and brown color. You'll come straight out and say he's Caucasian. Deal done. He's pale. Deal done. That's it. Nothing else needs to be said. Completed. But they kept going around and around, trying to go in circles, telling you he's tan, telling you he's yellow, all kind of different things, leading back to one and only conclusion. Firmly decided Wilson was a black man. Cannot be mistaken. Andrew Jackson, his life and time. Andrew Jackson was what? Yellow as well. Page 40 of that book, written by H.W. Brandt. Same rubbish, same spell. They used to hide Jackson. They're using to hide Woodrow Wilson as well. Yellow, tan, all kind of description given unto Andrew Jackson, given unto Woodrow Wilson as well. Bird of a feather flock together, 2 Moabite robbers. Children of Adam, narrative and writing of Andrew Jackson given unto you. Page 73 of that book. A Negro man that ran away from his slave master. He was what? Yellow complexion. Negro man yellow. So Andrew Jackson must be of the Negro man complexion, as well as Woodrow Wilson, if he's yellow, must be of that Negro man complexion as well. But we're not done yet. Woodrow Wilson, a psychological study. We go back to this book, page 5. Tommy Woodrow Wilson, he was what? Sallow he was. As a young boy, he was sallow. What is sallow? Let's jump to the meaning. Yellowish color, dark yellow, yellowish brownish color. That's Wilson. Again, matching with yellow. As a Negro man, he's a black man. Children of Adam, we're not done yet. Woodrow Wilson, a profile by author link, page 10 of that book. Woodrow Wilson, he was 23 years old. He had a reddish complexion. He's a ruddy red as well. Another way to describe a black man or a florid man, a reddish complexion. Anywhere you turn, it leading back to Woodrow Wilson being a black man. Can't escape it. Firmly decided you pick one of the two to put on Woodrow Wilson, whether you want to pick a ruddy red or a ruddy yellow, a ruddy gold, you pick one from him. Children of Adam, Woodrow Wilson, Father Joseph Ruggles Wilson was black. If the father black, then the son must be black. Let's bring this one to a conclusion on his complexion. Woodrow Wilson, a psychological study by Sigmund Freud and William C. Bullitt, page 141 of that book. The big dark black man, the dark man, had defeated Wilson. It was who? Joseph Ruggles Wilson, Joseph Ruggles Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, father. That's the man that's been troubling Woodrow Wilson all of his life. Woodrow Wilson trying to match up to his father, but could not reach his father's levels and his father's expectation. So he's carrying that psychological problem with him throughout the entire life of him, whether his social life, whether his political life, or whether his all kind of robbery life that he's been living. Children firmly decided Woodrow Wilson was a dark man. So was the father, Joseph Ruggles Wilson. So was the son, Woodrow Wilson. So was his wife, Edith. So was his wife, Ellen. So was his wife, Ellen. So was his wife, Ethan. So was his cousin, Helen. All of them black people associated with Woodrow Wilson. Firmly giving back unto you, Woodrow Wilson, a black Moabite. None and none else can he be. Children, shameful whitewashing of Woodrow Wilson's picture. You think Goma Gentile gonna let Woodrow Wilson go without getting the paintbrush ready and splashy dashy all over Woodrow Wilson's face? Not a chance. Children, whitewash at its worst. Left-hand side of your screen, running up and down in the New Yorker magazine, fully whitewashed, Woodrow Wilson. I've been telling you how you can know the picture fake and whitewash. Ghost white, ghost white. On the left-hand side of your screen, look at that ghost man over there, whoever that is, ghost as ghost can be. On the left-hand side of the screen, shameful whitewashing. And on the right-hand side, real picture, original picture, dark skin man, and someone went way overboard, as much effort as they could to make the picture white when it is not. I'm telling you, children of Adam, the Europeans, they look like the Caucasian type of your day. But remember, Caucasian taken from your rib. Whatever they are is what you are. You can be that because they're taken from your DNA. Black man, you have many denominations within you. Don't let go my Gentile Caucasian come telling you rubbish anymore. This is a black man on the right-hand side of your screen. If he wasn't black, if he wasn't black, if he was Caucasian, why you have to go through all that effort to whitewash that picture, make it ghost white? Must be hiding something. Must be trying to make someone they were not originally. Black man on the right-hand side of your screen, and a whitewash, shameful image on the left side of your screen. Children, you know I'm not gonna let the picture pass without doing my full analysis of the picture. Look at the man here at the top of his head, splashy dashy, white splashing all over his hair, showing you that the hair was completely whitewashed in, tampered with. But if you do an outward view of it, you can't make it out. But if you blow up the picture, isolate areas, you see the flaws, the imperfection, and the whitewashing all along his hairline. All kind of splashy dashy whitewashing. If you look where his forehead meets his hair, they're the same color. Anyone you've ever come across where the forehead color is the same as the hair color, match perfectly? No. White. They have to whitewash the hair because they can never get the hairline right. Have to whitewash the hair, same as the forehead, because they can never get it right. Always make mistakes, and they oversplash on many occasions when they could not fix it very well. They just splash the whole thing, make the whole thing one big white image, because they know we were blind at that time, not spending any time scrutinizing the image. They told you without any proof, and you just believe. But now we're checking the proof, checking receipt. They're here, full of a splashy dashy on the top of his head, that they threw the paint bucket in his head. Anywhere it drop, that's what it is. And that's what you get right here, a splashy dashy image. We're not done yet. Look at his eyes on this one. Right by his eyes, black as ever. They could not get in between the creases of where his specs are. Couldn't get there. So they just left the corners black. And even under his eye area, black. They could not get it perfectly. If you look on the left side of the screen, you see some of the paint brushing, splashing over outside of where his face is. It's like a silhouette coming off his face. That's the paint splashing again. They keep splashing and splashing, not getting it properly done. But by his eye, black, showing you the original picture in the background, trying to fight its way back through. Not done as yet. You look at his hair, the back of his head. Black at the bottom, then they just left the splashy dashy at the top. Black hair at the bottom, at the top, fully white. Doesn't make any sense. If you look on his face, right by his ears, two-tone. One is extra white, then you see a little darker spot there. Just by his neck as well, same thing. And if you look at the back of his head where his shirt meets his neck, all kind of splashing going on there. Couldn't get that done properly. Splashy dashy all over this picture. Unperfected whitewashing. Children! Same thing with his nose, his nostril. Black and white. By his lips, they paint over his lips white, his entire lips. Bottom lip, completely white. No one lip color is the same as their skin color below their lip. Doesn't happen. Same thing for the top lip. Whitewash it as well. They've just been whitewashing everything in sight. But again, when you were blind under the spirit of slumber, we were all missing these cues. So these pictures can pass as real, but now they are not. Eyes open. Eyes wide open. Children, look at this one. They even splash his tie. Even the tie, they whitewash the tie. For whatever reason, we don't know. They just went crazy with the brush and started splashing everything. His jacket got splashed. His tie got splashed. His neck, two different colors. All kind of different arrows they're making. Your lies cannot stand up. When the time comes for that lie to be revealed, it shall be, and it will be, and it is being revealed. Shameless whitewash picture on the left-hand side of your screen. Ghost white. Woodrow Wilson, did you hear me? Ghost white. That's the picture they give you on the left-hand side to keep you fixed under the spell that he was Caucasian, painting the picture ghost white. On the right-hand side brings you back to the original picture, the original complexion, dark skin, Woodrow Wilson, dark. Just like his suit and his tie, not like his shirt. Children, ghost white versus real image. The dark black, MOAB, President Woodrow Wilson, moving forward, whitewash on the left, whitewash on the right. Did you hear me? Whitewash pictures, same picture. Get two versions of whitewashing. On the left-hand side, the more sophisticated version. They paid a better whitewasher to whitewash that picture. And on the right-hand side, way back when they couldn't whitewash so good, but they whitewash anyway. Same whitewash picture of Woodrow Wilson, shamefully whitewashed. Look at the hairline, whitewash, whitewash, gross white forehead on the left-hand side of your screen, and on the right-hand side of his forehead, black, black, black is here. Whitewash as well. You see splashes of white in his hair. Splashy dashy all over his hair and all over his forehead. Two-tone. That's the image that they whitewash very poorly. Now we move to his face. His eyeglass on the left-hand side of your screen get fully whitewashed up. They couldn't get around his specs without leaving his true complexion. So they white out the specs completely on the left-hand side of your screen. But when you look on the right-hand side of your screen, there is his specs. Where is it on the left? Where is it? In his eye corner on the right-hand side of your screen. Black, black, black. They could not do without leaving it black, so they would not have to paint over his entire specs. Hear me now, children of Israel. Whitewashing gone wrong. They whitewash even down into his eyebrow. Whitewash the whole thing. Whitewash the whole thing. They did not hesitate to whitewash it by his nose, his nostril. Black, black, black. They claim they're going for a little shadowing. Nothing as such. Fully whitewashed. Two-tone, three-tone, all over your screen. Someplace, the left side of your screen, fully whitewashed. When you look on the right side, you see little specks of black, little specks of brown, everywhere splashy dashy. Children of Adam, time we get back our eyesight. Time we get back our full vision. Look at his ears. Hear me now. They whitewashed the ears, but they didn't get a chance to fully whitewash the tip of his ears. Why? Only they know. Children, everything is a complete mess with this picture. His eyebrow, as I told you, whitewashing splashy dashy in his eyebrow. The crease by his lens, whitewash splashy dashy. His ears improperly whitewash and left black at the tip. Children of Israel, in his ears as well, inside his ears, shouldn't that be a little ghostly white? No, it's black as ever because he is a black man. Children of Israel, whitewashing gone wrong. His lips again. Look at the left-hand side of your screen. By his mouth, his lip, whitewash, splashy dashy, splashed up, and on the right-hand side of your screen, the lip still black. Children, hear me now. Whitewashing again, gone wrong. His bottom lip, his entire bottom lip, whitewash, but his top lip, half of it, whitewash, half black. If you're going for a little shadowing, shouldn't his lower lip to the right-hand side be also black? Yes, but the whitewashers didn't go for perfection. They didn't get the full pay to do the whitewashing job properly. So, give a half patched up work. His chin, left side, fully whitewashed. In the middle area, splashy dashy white black. And on the right hand side, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. That's a little yellow and a little bit brown and all kind of discoloration from what they were doing. Telling you, they did a good job whitewashing this thing properly. His lip area, his top lip, very uneven black and white. They didn't know what they were doing, so they just splashed. When in doubt, splash everything. Children of Adam, his tie, as I tell you, why they keep whitewashing the man tie? To create a grey image, giving you an image to look blended in with his whitewash complexion. If he's white, why you got to whitewash him? Why you got to whitewash his suit? Only they know, but whatever decision they come up with, it's a fake con job of whitewashing. Job 9 verse 24, they shall cover up the faces of the judges and give you shameful whitewash pictures of your leaders that were black, some good and some wicked. Moabite as well. Children, both pictures whitewash. Right hand side of your screen, whitewash as whitewash can be. Children, we go to the picture on the right. His eyes messed up. They paint over his entire eyelid, his entire block in his eye, painted over his entire specs, paint over his left specs and his right spec. Gone. Children, the whitewashers got so crazy. The whitewashers got so excited. They paint over the man's lens. They paint over the man's lens and left only the rim of the lens. There is no lens, just a rim resting on his nose bridge. Yes, children of Israel, all kind of imperfection. Look where the arrow is. Lines on top of lines, all over his face, in his eyes, all kind of discoloration in his eyes, all kind of discoloration by his nostril. Children, poorly job done. The job done poorly. Put in a requisition for a refund. Children, more refund coming. Look at the discoloration of his face. By his mouth, all kind of stripes and stripes going through his face. Splash, splash on top of splash. Children, his entire lip on the top and on the bottom, whitewash. Couldn't get it done properly. Patchy dashy all over his face and splashy dashy all over his face. Job poorly done. Children, we speck out his ears. Well, look at his ears on the right hand side of your screen. The bottom portion of his ears, splashy dashy on the top part of his ears. Black, black, black. Black man, children of Adam, you should know by now, for a black man, certain areas of his body is hard to disguise and to whitewash with a paintbrush correctly, especially during the time when they don't have the Photoshop, technique and software applications they have now. Left hand side of the screen, look at his ears, all kind of disfigurement of his ears. Yes, the bottom portion of that ears whitewash, the top portion black. Children, splashy dashy, lies, wickedness, deception can only work for a certain period of time. Children, the man's suit jacket and his tie and his shirt was not spared. The whole thing paint over gray. Why you have to whitewash the man's suit? Hear me now and hear me well. It's bad enough they had to whitewash his complexion, his full face. They went for the jacket as well. children of Israel. Yes, whitewash, graduation suit, doctoral suit on the left-hand side of your spread. Shame, shame, shame. Especially when you leave the original one floating around out there. Children, right-hand side of your screen, the one not whitewashed. The one left in its original state look completely different from the one on the left-hand side of your screen. Why you have to go touch the picture and whitewash it if this man was originally Caucasian? Because he was not. That's why you have to go touch it. Change over black MOAB President Woodrow Wilson picture to make him Caucasian. That's how desperate the situation is. You want to take all the credit, all the historical fact of a wicked black MOAB president and make him Caucasian so you can look esteemed like you've been doing things at Woodrow Wilson time. But it wasn't you. Go my Gentile Caucasian children, shameful whitewash image again on the left-hand side of your screen, again on the right-hand side of your screen. Shameless. All his picture is here, fully white, whether he's old or whether he's young. You notice these two pictures, the ones that are whitewashed, is here, white as his face. He's here, white as his face, and many of them, they try to color in his jacket and his shirt and his tie. But his hair, always white. Here again, on the left-hand side of your screen, white. Here again, hairline on the left-hand side of your screen, white. Here on the right-hand side of your screen, white. Everywhere you go, his hair is white. Is it a trend or this man was just actually old? I say, was it a trend? How Woodrow Wilson was old and his hair was white because he was old? Let's put it to the test. Children of Adam, the left-hand side of the screen, Woodrow Wilson in his 20s and his hair still white. How can that be? The man here white. How can that be? The man here is white. The man here is white and he's in his 20s. How? Whitewash. Got to whitewash the whole thing. You have to whitewash the hair to blend it in with the whitewashed face. And if you look by his jacket, half of it whitewash. The lower part of it whitewash. Going up to his neck, left, a little less whitewash. Whitewashing everything you see on the left-hand side, fake. On the right-hand side as well. Yes, on the right-hand side of your screen, whitewashed as well. 1902 was that picture taken. He seems a lot younger on the left-hand side of your screen picture. So why at a younger age his hair is fully white, and when he's older his hair is less white? Whitewashing gone wrong. That's what's going on when you're whitewashing and not checking your footprint as you whitewash to know what age he should be. And he shouldn't be with white hair. Children of Adam, sound mind, come back. Children, yes, on the left-hand side of the screen, that shameful picture we just went over, Woodrow Wilson, 1902, but Woodrow Wilson, an older man, he's darker, brown like his suit, brown like his tie, and yes, on the right-hand side, that's telling you the true black Moabite picture. And on the left-hand side, shameful whitewashing. Woodrow Wilson, fully whitewashed, hair whitewashed, lips whitewashed, suit whitewashed, everything about him whitewash. Those are the image that's been put in front of you over and over, telling you subconsciously, telling you consciously that this man was a white man, and you feeding that consciousness to your subconscious, saying that this man is white when he was not, giving you back your sound mind and your record. Black MOAB, Woodrow Wilson. Children, it is known worldwide that Woodrow Wilson, the black Moabite, is and was black. Children, were not done yet. Books being printed with the cover Woodrow Wilson, brown complexion man, yellowish brown complexion man, has the record, has shown, the books have shown that he was. On the left hand side of your screen, that's a brown man. On the right hand side of your screen, that's a brown man. No matter how they try to tone down his complexion, trying to make him pseudo Caucasian, black man. That's what he was and will ever be. Children, Woodrow Wilson by Arthur Walworth, black man. Again, a black man, as black as his suit, no closeness to his shirt collar, no closeness to his shirt collar on the left hand side of your screen. Giving you back the true image on the right hand side again. Woodrow Wilson, a black man. Look at his face. Now look at his hands. His hands are black. Nowhere it come close to no ghost white has told unto you by people who wrote and drew portrait of Wilson, Woodrow Wilson. Black man, face black, hands black, everything about him black. That's how the black people were, with, as you call it in your modern day time, Caucasian looking hair, Caucasian looking features, but you got to know and remember always, the Caucasian man gets his features from you. He came from your ribs, not the other way around, as he has told you for so many years when he was at the peak of his life. Children, Newsweek gave you the real picture, a black man picture of Woodrow Wilson, same as the New York Times giving you a black man picture. No whitewashing, no face match with no hair, and no ghost white features. None of that. He doesn't look and resemble the same complexion as his shirt color. No way, no how. Untouched pictures of him, no whitewashing, so you can see the difference in when it's whitewashed versus when it's the normal natural picture. You can see the normal color, skin color and complexion of Woodrow Wilson versus the whitewashed pictures. Giving you back that your pictures that you're getting in your nowadays have been fully tampered with. Look for those that are ghost white, and look for those that their hair, the front of their hair is fully white, even though it doesn't matter what age they are, whether they're young, middle-aged, old, their hair front white. Those, you know, are fully whitewashed. They got to whitewash the hair to complement the whitewashed forehead and face. Children of Israel, you look at this one, you see both the specs are in place. No specs removed because of whitewashing. No specs removed because the whitewash had to take over that space. Both specs, picture on the left-hand side, the two specs are there. You can clearly see them. If you look at the whitewash pictures that I put in front of you right now, the left spec, the spec further to the left, God, disappear, vanish, whitewash, victim of whitewash. Children of Adam, same as well. J Story Daily, pieces of history, put back dark complexion pictures. Not like his shirt fully whitewashed, his skin to look like his shirt and to match his shirt, and his hair again fully white. None of that. Natural looking, for his hair brown blackish and his complexion yellowish brown. Given back unto you, children of Adam, we're not done yet. In newspaper stays the same. The Atlantic, same picture as used by Newsweek. Black man picture. Some media outlets give you the correct picture, but they know you have already been overwhelmed with whitewash picture. So when they put the real picture in front of you, you don't think anything of it, because your mind is already made up that he's Caucasian. So they don't mind sprinkling some truth, because they know your subconscious mind and your conscious mind are going to reject the truth unless it come back and laid in front of you on the left-hand side of your screen and on the right-hand side of your screen. New York Tribune. Wilson, chosen president, Roosevelt, Van Rosenfeld. That's the next robber that continued the job of Woodrow Wilson. Did you hear me? That's the next Moabite robber that continued the second half of where Wilson left off. That's why Wilson chose Roosevelt, because he knows Roosevelt supposed to finish the rest of the robbery. Two black men, two Moabites robbing the children of Adam. Wilson, from the picture in the New York Tribune, made it clear he's a black man. He's not white nor Caucasian like his shirt color. His face fully dark skin. That's what he was. Same as what the literature, the books made him out to be. A dark complexion man, a tan man, a sallow man, a yellow man, a man whose father is dark man. He came out to be. Children of Adam, conclusion, United States of America and United States Corporation, 28th President Woodrow Wilson was what? Black, a black man, a black Moabite to be exact. Conclusion number 2. President Woodrow Wilson, wife Ellen, Edith, and his daughter Jessie were black. Yes, children of Adam. Did you hear me a while ago? His entire household was black. President Woodrow Wilson, his father, Joseph Ruggles Wilson, was a dark black man. Children, the third item. Conclusion number 4. Woodrow Wilson, biggest rival at Princeton University, Andrew West, was what? A dark black man. Entire people surrounding Woodrow Wilson, black. MOAB President Woodrow Wilson, the co-conspirator in the formation of the robbery, the final transformation of turning the children of Adam into debt slaves. Yes, modern day robbery, as we call it these times. Modern day robbery of Black Adam. He passed the Banking Act and the Federal Reserve Act. Children, that start the robbery full time on the black man and the rest of Goma Gentile Caucasian who weren't as lucky to be considered your elites of the Caucasian, tied to the Canaanite, the poor one, thrown to the wolves like Black Adam. Yes, Black Adam and the poor Goma Gentile Caucasian peered up under this modern day robbery. Yes, conclusion number 6. Moabite President Woodrow Wilson converted Black man Adam from involuntary slavery on the field, on the cotton field, on the plantation. Move him to voluntary slavery, voluntary debt slavery. Economic slave under Setsui, Kevi, slavery, lost at sea, his life birth, taken and given instead to him a birth certificate, making him Setsui Kevi, lost at sea. Until now, when the father said, all my lost sheep got to roll themselves back to the land so you can be back with the common law of the land. No more sea, no more admiralty, no more maritime law for the children of Adam. This is what I want to leave with you today. Children of Adam, let's hear about the robbery from the mouth of Woodrow Wilson, because you might think that this man didn't start the robbery. Let's hear what he has to say. Woodrow Wilson, after signing the Federal Reserve Act 1913, I am the most unhappy man. That's what he found out, that he got himself in a whole bunch of mess, running up and down with Edward Mandell house, with Rothschild from BEL. I have unwittingly ruined my country, a great industrial nation that was built upon the back and the hard sweat of black man Adam. That's what he meant to say. A nation controlled by now what? A great nation that is now controlled by a system of credit. There is no money. Money gone. They're gonna take the gold further down in 1933, so you don't have any lawful money, and you have to use a system of credit, passing one credit for another credit. Yes, that's what he was left with to realize and ponder and lament later on. Children of Adam, our system of credit is concentrated among a few Rothschild family and the elites they set up in America. The growth of America, therefore, all of our activity have come to a standstill, are in the hands of a few men, children. Realize it? Too late. He already stepped in the trap. We have come to be one of the worst nation. Children, that's what you're living in. Right now, he realized it from 1913. So you think that was going to improve until your time now? It got even worse. One of the most completely controlled and dominated country in the civilized world. No longer a government by the free people, by the free opinion, but children of Adam. He's not talking about you because you were not free. He's talking about the free white person, the ones I told you came from Europe, and the picture, the screen, the image in front of you right now telling you, oh, he's considering free black MOAB and black people from Europe and the rest of the world. It doesn't include you, children of Adam, if you're indigenous to America. No! Only those Adamites, Semites that came from Europe were considered free. You were a slave forever, and you were designated as black, non-free. That's the category they put you all in, even though they let you out after the Civil War and give you your 14th Amendment. That was only a ceremonial gesture. Children of Adam, no longer a government by conviction. Yes, convicting your children of Adam, indigenous to America, to work all your sweat and labor and give it to the Shemite from Europe, then now you're giving it to Goma Gentile Caucasian in America. Set up himself with your substance in his hand. Children, that's the reading of it. Don't let it fool you that he's talking about freeing you up and putting you as part of those who are voting and majority vote. And now you say Kamala and Trump running up and down saying they needed to vote for them. Guess what? Vote of the majority. No longer part of America. Did you hear me? Woodrow Wilson from his own mouth. No longer United States government by conviction. No, and no, it's not by no vote of no majority. No matter how many times you vote, it's already decided by the few men that Woodrow Wilson and then Franklin Van Roosevelt, aka Franklin Delano Roosevelt, hand over the rest of the reign and the money and control to these few men. But our government, by the opinion and the duress, the pressure, the harassment, the murder, the conviction, all kind of blackness, all kind of voodoo, all kind of curse, whether Lucifer, Binele, Cain, and whether by vicar of Christ with his ecclesiastical law, his church law, or whether by MOAB, or whether by Ammon. Did you hear me? Whether by MOAB in your modern day time, Obama and his crew of taskmasters, and Ammon, the Mormon, doesn't matter. Whether by Goma Gentile Caucasian, the elite, they call themselves nowadays that small group of dominant men that's running your country, United States Corporation. United States of America has been defunct since 1789. Children of Adam, all of you Adam, stand strong, oh Adam, stand strong, oh children of Israel, stand strong, oh children of Judah, stand strong, my Levite, stand strong, Joseph, my Josephite, Ephraim, stand strong, Jacob, stand strong, go my Gentile Caucasian. Even though you're not in the picture, marrying up yourself with these few groups of men, your elite leaders leading you astray, but you have to come back home. Cleave unto Jacob. Your instruction given to you week after week after week. You shall cleave, you shall attach yourself, you shall be one with Jacob, the black man, the black woman, not yet spiritually awakened, to lead you, to guide you. Jacob and Israel, the spiritual people, majority of them are black man Adam. They shall be a light unto you, O my Gentile Caucasian. Go my Gentile Caucasian, especially in America. All of you stand strong in the name of the Most High. Ela, Yah, Yod, He, Vahu, He, Elohim, Neta, Rav, Neta, Tap, Tabib, Kodowish, Yod, He, Vahu, He, Seba, Yod, Kodowish, Elohim, Seba, Yod, Kodowish, Tap, Tabib, Seba, Yod. Thank you, my Lord. Thoth, Melchizedek, Yehovah, Adonai, Abib, for bringing back your children of Adam, bringing us back to our sound mind, giving us eyes so we can see, ears that we can hear, sending us back, couple, negro, to lead your children back into the path of righteousness. And your Levi priest coming with him, and Judah, the great black army, coming as well. Thank you, my Lord, for bringing back your children. Corn, wine, oil, children. God, our Lord has remembered us and has brought back to us bread, wine, corn, oil. So the children of Israel shall arise, O God. Arise, O God. Arise, O my Lord, and show your children the way. You shall bring us back into our kingdom in the United States of America. Jerusalem, USA, in the word where Louis Jerome Armstrong shall set up back the kingdom of the Lord Thoth Melchizedek Jehovah Kodowish Adonai Sebayoth Kodowish Abib Sebayoth Shema, my Lord Thoth Melchizedek Jehovah Adonai Abib. Listen to the voice, to the cry, to the plea of your children. Listen to the cry of your children, to your children of Levi. Hear our cry, and we know you shall turn unto us, children of Adam. In our Lord's name, we stand strong forever and forever and forever.